within this topic, we'll continue our discussion about the ideology of the curriculum, and this topic actually falls within the main topic, which is about planning goals and learning outcomes, right? Okay, now we're gonna discuss social and economic efficiency as an educational philosophy, which has its relevance for language teaching curriculum design, right? Okay, so certain educational philosophies have their own emphasis, right? So this educational philosophy, in general, I mean, lays emphasis on creating skills, values, or systems by which acquiring them will make the learners socially and economically stable, right? So they will be able to achieve their social and economic needs, right? Okay. So if applied to the field of language teaching, this philosophy, lays emphasis on developing materials or training or helping language learners in a way who could become efficient and who could pursue their career jobs by learning English, right? And we've got a metaphor, beautiful metaphor here by Bobbitt. Although it's very old reference, yet it has its relevance even now. Like how social and economic ideology of the curriculum sees language learning as something factory and production, like learners are seen as empty vessels, and where teachers give them knowledge and they produce it, right? So this is the metaphor used to describe social and economic efficiency, right? Okay, and this ideology has its own practical significance. We've seen certain debates in the past about practical and functional skills in English, in teaching English as a foreign language, and whenever we make decisions about language curriculum design, we try to justify our decisions. For example, in the context of Pakistan, I remember in 1980s, like Higher Education Commission of Pakistan realized the significance of language teaching as a formal subject, because it was considered that the bulk of knowledge in the world exists in English, and if we as a nation are having proficiency in English language, we can communicate with the rest of the world. So this is how this decision of making English as a compulsory subject was justified by an ideology, right? And we've got so since we have seen the relationship between knowledge and English language, and Richard in his book, like Curriculum Development in Language Teaching, give a good example of Japan, where in 1990s English was suffering from language teaching was seen as something problematic, and one of the reasons behind Japan's economic development was that the English was not given equal importance, right? So the social and economic aspect of language curriculum design has seen various syllabuses. We've got some skill-based and academically based instruction. For example, in a syllabus, in a curriculum where literature is seen as a medium of instruction and it's used, language is not seen as something functional. So on the other hand, this social and economic efficiency element led to the rise of skills-based syllabus, and then we've seen debates between literature and language and grammar versus conversational syllabus, right? So this movement, this social and economic efficiency movement, or as an ideology, has influenced some key decisions of language curriculum design, and that's why English was for the first time seen as having some special purposes, and we got ESP movement. And then due to this ideology, we've got some notional and functional syllabuses, and Clark is of the view that notional and functional syllabus represent social and economic efficiency ideology. So in summary, social and economic efficiency as an ideology of the curriculum, although it was like introduced in educational field, but later on its application was seen in the field of language teaching. And we've seen like how at different phases of language teaching it influenced different decisions about language curriculum design.